Hi guys, so we have had the London press conference for KSI versus Logan Paul, and Eddie Hearn seemed to have the time of his life, and he said in a post-press conference interview that the loser will be completely humiliated and will become a meme forever, and it will harbour the rest of their career. Now obviously there is no love lost between KSI and Logan Paul, but Eddie Hearn seems to like that. He loves a bit of beef, and going into this fight, it will sell the fight, and the fight didn't really need to be sold anyway. I mean, look how many people turned up. They were queuing from like 9 AM, I think, so this fight is not short of interest. And Eddie Hearn has warned that the loser will be humiliated, and they both know that, I believe. I don't think there will be too much respect between the two of them after their fight, because there wasn't after the first one. To start with, they shook each other's hands and congratulated each other, but after about 5 minutes, it all started up again because it was a draw and there wasn't a definitive winner. Both made cases for why they believe they won. But at the end of the day, I believe it was a draw as well, 3 rounds each. But in this fight, I don't think there are going to be any judges needed, because neither of them knows what it's like to be hit without headguard. Of course, they're going to be sparring without headguards and just getting ready for it. But that is only sparring. They're not going to be fighting and sparring to knock each other out, whereas in the fight they will be. So I don't know who will land first, but whoever does, it will take an effect, and the other fighter possibly could be out with one punch. And this fight could just be over in one punch knockout, maybe even in the first round. We don't know really what to expect from this. I mean, in the first fight, I didn't think KSI was performing the same way he done in the Joe Weller fight, because obviously I've watched them both now, and I believe that KSI boxed well in the Joe Weller fight, but not so well in the Logan Paul fight. If he can fight the same way and use his boxing ability in the Logan Paul rematch, then I believe he has a chance at getting a decision. But as I said, I don't believe the judges are going to be needed in this one. So it's going to be a knockout. So what can KSI do differently to get that knockout? Because I think maybe he's a boxer, maybe not such a fighter. He's shown that in the Joe Weller fight. He used his footwork, his speed and his punch dexterity to outbox and outwork Joe Weller, who was looking really for only one punch. And perhaps that is what Logan Paul will do if he is not careful going into this fight. Because he believes that he can knock KSI out with just one punch, and possibly he can. But it's not just about having that one punch knockout power, it's about landing the punch. So if KSI is using his head movement, which he also is very good at, then Logan Paul is going to find it very hard to land and catch him clean. So KSI does possess a good amount of boxing ability. It's just whether he utilizes it in this fight, because as I said, he didn't in the first one. But don't get me wrong, I believe that Logan Paul is a reasonably good boxer also. He has a very good jab. But in this fight, I think it will come down to who has polished their boxing ability more, because as I said, it's not just about landing one big punch, it's about setting the punch up, and the success must come off of the jab. And one thing I noticed about these two, both of them, in the first fight, is their feet and their hands don't match up. They don't work as a cohesive unit. Now what I mean by that is, obviously boxing stance is very important, so a lot of the time KSI was coming square and I noticed Logan Paul was leaning over his front foot, especially when Logan Paul got tired, which he said he is going to try and rectify this time. He will be in a lot better shape and more physically conditioned. Whereas KSI, he cannot allow his feet to come square when he does not have a head guard on and he is getting hit with 10-ounce gloves. It just cannot happen. You cannot have your feet come square, that means side by side, and get hit with a shot, because it will knock him out. So that is something that maybe he needs to work on. But ultimately, at the end of the day, Eddie Hearn is right. The loser will be humiliated. I hope not really too much, because they are both going in there and putting their careers and health on the line going in there with this boxing match. Because despite what they say, they are both novices and they don't really know what to expect going into this first pro fight with those 10-ounce gloves and without the head guard. But guys, what are your thoughts on this? Who are you picking to win? And do you believe the loser will be completely humiliated? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, click the thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks guys.